So, Misty, do you remember the day we met, the very first day?
I do, but I remember a lot before we actually met, what happened and the story of how it all came about. Do you?
Yes, I do. I do remember that it was rather meant to be.
It was, because I had been teaching privately for over 2 years and didn't really have any intention of going back into school. But I went for a coffee with an ex-colleague of mine who said that she had been to a summer camp that was opening a new school in September.
Yes,
do you remember?
I do remember checking my inbox in those days, and I was really in need of a teacher, but I had kind of lost hope by then. And then I remembered, but I've seen that email. And so I went back and looked, and that was your email.
I know, because she had said to me, I went for this interview, the person didn't really like me, I feel, and I really didn't like her, or not that didn't even like, but you weren't compatible, I think.
Yeah, we weren't a match.
Yeah, but she said she would be amazing for you, and I said, no, I don't want to go back into school. But then when I went home, curiosity got the better of me, and so I went onto the website and read what you'd written, and I thought, that's me, I wrote that, but I hadn't written it. And so sent you my CV.
Yes.
And from there...
so we met at this cafe, I remember. Yeah. And we sat down, and the thing I remember was that we completely lost track of time.
Yeah.
And I noticed of you that you never once checked your watch.
Never. And in fact, my husband thought I had been kidnapped because we literally were gone for 4 hours with no communication from the outside world.
Yes. We got lost in our thoughts, and they were so incredibly aligned and in sync. And so...
And that's only grown since then.
I thought, well, looks like this is it.
Yeah. And from there on, we met the parents, we presented the project, and it just took off.
Yeah. And this was 2019.
2019. We're now going into our 5th year.
Yes.
And we have started a waiting list for September 25.
Yeah.
So, what was the why? What made you decide to start this project? Because you had been teaching privately like me as well, hadn't you?
Right, yes. For a few years, Little Stars was a network of different teachers who were teaching English at home. But it wasn't really what I wanted until one mom, who's still currently Little Stars mom here at our school, invited me for coffee and asked me, but why don't you open a school, a kindergarten? And when she asked me that, I thought, oh, that's an insane
crazy
idea. And then other people had called me up and asked me, yeah, why don't you do it? There is really so much need for a different idea of kindergarten, when children can be free, where children can be barefoot if they want, they can be in nature, and a school in English. So all elements combined that I thought, after a while, I thought, yeah, actually, why not? And so because there was the need, I decided to jump into it. But I was really, it was also crazy on my part because, see, for example, I didn't know it's really true when they say you start and then life will present you with the right people. And that's exactly what happened to me.
I remember when I met you, you had your ideas pretty clear about what you wanted and what you wanted to achieve, but we didn't actually have the school building yet, where we were going to be. We were still getting the clients, and it just all fell into place.
Everything.
So quickly.
Incredible. It's truly miraculous.
Yeah.
And I've read so many self-help books before, and when they say, trust the process, believe in the universe, because if you trust yourself, life will present you with all the elements that will fall into place. And seriously, Little Stars is very much like that.
Definitely.
Yes. So we met.
Yeah.
And then we were going to start in a tiny little room. Remember that when you saw it the first time, you looked at me and you said,
no.
What? Is this where we're going to start the school in September? And well, at the time, I didn't have anything else. And so then we started looking, and again, miraculously, I ran into this person who owned a place that was, was suitable for what we started.
Which was amazing for us starting off.
Right, and
we had our open day there, which was fabulous.
And no one was expecting it. Everyone was expecting the little room.
People had actually been quite upset that we were no longer going to be in this little room, do you remember? Instead, they came to this amazing villa with all the grass, and we had all these sections set out where the kids could go and play, and the parents ended up staying hours. It was fabulous. It was absolutely amazing, and that was just perfect for our start.
Perfect. Yes.
And that same person got us where we are now.
Yeah, because then we grew, and we became too many for the dependence of that place. And so
we wanted our animals.
That's right. We wanted our animals.
And our vegetable garden. And we wanted to be more independent.
And so that happened as well.
Yeah.
We landed here in this magical place where we are now.
In Villa Bongi.
So when my children were little and we were living in the States, I bought a book by Sharifa Oppenheimer, who is a Waldorf teacher. And the title is Heaven on Earth. And from here, I got this desire later on to create a special place for children, a little slice of paradise where childhood would be celebrated, and being a child would actually be something fabulous.
Amazing.
So that's
something you couldn't do for your own children, but you are going to do it for other people's children.
Yes. Well, for my children, in the beginning was very hard because there were no kindergartens that I liked, and then eventually I found the Waldorf school. But I remembered how hard it was to not have a place where you want to send your children. And so then when I was here in Italy and I met all these parents through teaching English, they all had the same problem. They didn't have a school that they loved, and they were happy to send their young children to. And so I thought, we should do something about this.
Whereas my why, I suppose, is different because, as you know, I lived in Rome for many years, and my 3 children actually came to my school because I had my own school in Rome. And although it wasn't a forest school, it was a school very similar to the lines that we do here, because you and I are very similar in that. And we want that kind of freedom and stability for children to be strong individuals. So I didn't have the problem with them coming or going to another school that I didn't like because they came to my school. But in 2009, I moved back to the UK for 5 years with my children and my husband, and of course had to let all that go. And so when I did decide to come back to Italy, I worked in another school, which was an amazing school, but unfortunately had some ups and downs and closed down. Which then left me teaching privately, because it is, I did have opportunities to work in other private schools, as you know, but it's very difficult to go from something like that to then your archaic kind of traditional teaching, which I don't agree with. I with you, if I have an idea that I want to do something, anything like a teddy bear's picnic, or, turn the garden into, a fun fair, I know I can do it.
Right.
Because I know you will jump on board straight away and we're gone. And, we follow the child's interests, we follow their desires, the fun, and we are very still childlike ourselves.
That's right. And that's, I think, very important. And I encourage always the teachers who come here to feel what they do. So what they present, what they do with the children, it has to be something that they really feel. Because the children will feel that, will feel the passion, will feel the drive that it comes with something that you truly want to do.
And I really think, a big part of our success in our teaching is that we actually enjoy it.
Yes.
We have fun, we laugh, we giggle, the children think we're silly, and so they let themselves go completely, and what we make and what turns out, what becomes of whatever we do is just so special,
right,
because of the passion that's behind it.
Yeah, we kind of speak the same language with the children. No, you and I have fun together while we work, and they feel that, I think.
And we never show them something saying this is how it should be, because we know that every child's will be different, and it should be different, and we want it to be different.
Yeah.
We want them to bring out their individual imagination.
Yes, imagination,
just like we have.
fundamental. Yes, that's one of the probably one of the most important things that we do at Little Stars is to foster imagination.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it is
in creativity and
absolutely important in the for the child during childhood, but also later on. Studies show that a child that hasn't been fostering his or her imagination during childhood is later on going to have harder teenage years also, for example, because that's a tool that also I see it for myself. I still use a lot of my imagination.
Yeah, of course.
And so in childhood is really the time when a child learns that tool.
Yeah, to use your imagination. Even as an adult, to have the imagination to dream yourself into a different world sometimes gets you through the most hardest moments of your life, which you need to be able to do.
Yeah.
And I think also that's why we have so much success with English, because everything is done through fun, everything is done through play, and you know, there is no pressure put on the child. It's just fun. Right,
fun. Yes, people really learn through fun, because when you have fun, you are relaxed.
Exactly. No, you're stimulated.
You enjoy the moment, and that's when all your senses are open to receive what's in your environment.
Yeah.
And it's true, the children really very naturally learn English, and they leave Little Stars to go to elementary school really knowing English and without pressure, because we don't pressure them. They learn to count
effortlessly,
up to 50 perhaps.
We count going down the stairs, up the stairs in circle
just
time,
for fun.
Counting bugs, counting leaves. It's all fun. It's no pressure.
No pressure.
It's very natural.
And to think that this was just the beginning, and now here we are, and we have so much to share from all of our activities that we do every day, our recipes, and all the many things that we do with the children every day.
I know. Did you ever think in 2019 we'd be sitting here doing a podcast? It's amazing. What can we say? Watch this space.